Hello guys, good evening. This is Omar Ibrahim and today we are going to play around with lists. So let's go ahead. So in order to play with list, a list is a collection of what could be numbers, could be strings, it could be anything. So now I'm going to create a list of type what integer, right? And we're going to call that list numbers. So let's go ahead and say list, and the type is what integer, right? What is the name of the list? Numbers. Then we say is continue array list, right? This is perfect. Of course, if you haven't imported this, it's going to flag an error. All you could do is just what import your lists and then array list, and you'll be good to go. So now let's play with our what list. So the name of the list is numbers, and right now this list is empty. What we need to do is we add elements of type integer into the list. So let's go ahead and say numbers dot add. There's a function that says add. So what are we adding? Let's say we're adding 2. Okay, this is our first element. Yeah, we've added what? So inside numbers, we've added what? 2. We can go ahead and say numbers again, calling our list dot add what? Let's say 5 to our list. So we have how many elements in our list? 2 elements. So let's go ahead and try to print this list and see what happens. So we can say our list, okay, the list contains, right? Then we say plus numbers. Numbers, right? So let's try to we save this, we run it, and then see what happens. Okay, good. So now it says that the list contains 2 and 5. Okay, now by the way, for list, these two, the index for these two starts at what? 0. So this is 0 and 1. We have basically 2 elements there, starting from 0 and 1. Okay, so now at the same time I can decide to say, okay, well, numbers dot add, right? And I can decide to put the index. So since I have 1 2, then I have 0 1, and then second, this is the index, right? So this is the index, that is 0 1, 2 is the third one. Then I could add what? Any number. Let's say I'm adding 800, right? So if I add 800, and then I'm going to still copy this and just print it out. Okay, save this, run it, and then you're going to see the difference. So initially I had 2 and 5 in my list, and then I did what? 0 1 second index, right? That is the third element. I added what? 800. So that's how you play around with list. Additionally, we can decide to create another list. Go ahead and see list of type what? Integer, right? Call it maybe second list. Continue, same thing, array list. Yep, this is it. So we have another list, right? So let's say we're going to add to this second list, right? So we say second list dot add. Okay, I'm going to add maybe, let's say 5. No, let me say I'm adding 200. All right, I've added one element. Then I say second list dot add. Now this is not the index. I am actually adding a value to the list. So I'm going to say, let's say 300, and I'm going to say second list dot, I'm going to add let's say 600 should go, or let's say 60 is fine, right? So now second list has 200 316. Now if I try to output this, I'm going to have second list has, I'm going to have something like second list, right? Second list. So let's see what happens. So I save this and I run it. You're going to see the output of this. So what are we having? Okay, so we have second list has 200 306. These are the elements that we added. So now I want to try and do something, right? I want to take the elements of first list and then add it to the what? Second list. Let's see how we can do that. Okay, in order to do that, I can decide to just say second list dot add all. So what do I want to add? I want to add the first list, which is what? Numbers, right? So let's see how this goes. Then let me print this out. System.out.println. The new updated list is now, and you're gonna see what happens. This is actually very interesting, playing around with list, right? Plus so we added second list to the second list, right? So we are putting second list, right? So let's see what we're going to be having. So basically we said the new updated list, I suppose the updated list is now 200, 360, which is what we had initially, and then we had 2, 5, and 800, which is from the first list. Okay, so you can decide to manipulate lists in a lot of ways, and one advantages of using list is that if you're writing programs, if you're writing a lot of code, you just have to use list. All right, so in the next one I'm going to try to change the type, let's say from integer to a string, and then I'm also going to create another class. Then I could make that type, make that class to be the type for the list is going to be of that class. So we're going to try that, and then we'll see how that goes. Okay, I hope you've learned one or two, and please don't forget to leave comments. Thank you and goodbye.